Hi, real quick, thank you for clicking on this video. Please don't click away from this part. This is a very important disclaimer. I promise I'll take up as little time as possible. This is Act 2 of the Fontaine Archon quest, something that I know is quite popular among Genshin content creators to make content based on them playing through the Archon quest. But for me, I am recording this 2 days before patch 4.3. I'm not a Genshin content creator, I'm just some guy. The reason it's taken me so long to do this is because I have this thing, and I've done this ever since Liyue, I don't do the Archon quest until I have completed literally everything else in the region. So what does that mean for me? Here's my Furina, here are her stats. Don't mind the healing bonus, I promise there's a good reason for it. Here is her sword. My Weeping Willow Lake looks like this. And this is my Hydroculus count. I've collected every single one. My character has even beaten the Narcissan Craze, I've cleared the world quest and all of that. With everything else being done, I finally come back to do the Archon quest 2 days before 4.3. All that being said, I did do Act 1, but unfortunately I tried to stream it and massive packet loss corrupted the video file, so I cannot recover the VOD. I am terribly sorry about that, but the quick summary is that I really did love the trial. It was a great act for me, excellent kicker into Fontaine, and you get to see me for Act 2. And one last thing is that you will see a level 1 Lynette. The reason for that is because I got one for free in 4.0, and I wanted to do a thing where I wanted to push a level 1 character to its limits, and she was my only level 1 character. Everybody else was at Ascension 2 for the free wish. Here are her stats at level 1 if you're interested. It's not too great. I eventually gave up. I didn't want to commit more resources into pushing this. But there is a combat sequence in Act 2 and I used her for all of it. So it is hilariously awful and you do get to see that if you're interested. With all that being said, here's the videos. Thank you so much. Bye! And we're back with Act 2. Let's go. So, where we last left off, finished the trial. Now we get free dinner with Navia. I love free dinner. It's my favorite kind of free. If I was gonna get free anything, free dinner is pretty high up on the list. Oh shit, it's all the way back in Fontaine. Alright. Hotel de Board. Let's begin Act 2!
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Don't worry, we haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
It's all fish. This is Fontaine.
I'll go order for us first.
It's just all fish.
Here a moment.
Everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with
We're her
one
test
dish per
dummies.
table.
If the food sucks.
Yeah. Sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
You know, it was a pleasure. It has been a pleasure, Navia.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case,
No.
boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
No.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food.
She'll never said anything.
Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Dissolved.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
It's even worse because the guy dissolved remotely. Yeah, he got dissolved remotely.
Who was behind it?
She just nano snapped on the courtroom.
Even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's just that a different perspective is required in some matters.
I mean, that's fair,
It's
but...
easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through. Where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problem.
Every time she describes Spina di Rosula, I feel like it's a gang.
Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
She's just running a gang, it's a mob.
It's alright. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest.
What
in
happened
this
to all the
business,
food?
Right? Let's talk about something else.
What happened to all the food?
Like, what are your
I didn't even
plans?
see Paimon eat them all.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
We're moving on to dessert. There's just a cake on the table.
Primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
I don't know how much stock I want to take on this, but she called her Lady Farina here. And throughout all of Act 1, she doesn't refer to her as Lady, she just straight up says Farina, the name, with no honorific before it. I don't know how much I want to read into this, because it might be a localization quirk from Chinese. So unless I switch the audio to Chinese, I will never know. But it's interesting that like in Act 1, she just doesn't call her Lady Farina, but now she does. Nothing's changed.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more,
Oh my god, you're a fucking mob. This is a
perhaps even
mob.
methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
No,
Guess
no.
that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance.
No.
I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play.
What the heck?
Don't you think?
What the heck is that?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act.
What the heck kind of plan is that?
Hard.
Alright, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then
What the hell?
wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions.
What kind of jobs do you run, Navia? That's stalking.
I can personally testify that this one works.
What do you mean personally?
I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
What do you mean this one personally works? What do you... That's not the angle you go at this from.
That might work, but that's not really the problem.
Oh god.
Problem is, we
Navia.
don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Navia, what is wrong with you?
Valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
Navia. Ah. Am I really polling for you in 2 days?
Alright, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break.
That's never gonna
You
happen.
did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
Will someone with her personality really feel shame? I mean, she does feel shame. But ouch, I want to pick this option now.
Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Alright.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to
Hey, at least this time we actually ate the food and not Lillian.
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
At least this time it was us.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
I mean, assuming the Fanta is Fanta, that's some shade at that's some shade at the brand for sure.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case,
Oh my
we'll have
God.
to blacklist the Fanta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Or Fanta could just be like any generic fountain drink.
We're stuck.
That too.
Thanks for the treat, Navia.
I like to think it's just Fanta. Back when I lived in China, Fanta was everywhere. So you know. I agree. It's too sugary and sticky. Don't like it.
Paimon can barely float anymore.
You could try floating a little lower.
Can't you see Paimon's barely an inch off the ground?
No, it's more than an inch.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Oh shit, she's broke. Are all Geo users broke except Ningguang?
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority.
Okay.
In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
Bye bye.
See ya!
Oh, it's dark. Go to the Fountain Plaza. Oh, we gotta go back. Okay.
Zip on up!
Is it true that you can hear Furina crying in here? Oh.
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache.
Ah, it's the voice again.
Looks like we're back here again.
Vache.
Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again? Ugh, that's kinda spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
What's Vache?
Vache? Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water. Huh? Hang on. Paimon can
Oh, she can hear it too.
It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, traveler, stop walking. Come on, wake up.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What happened? What?
Vache. Are you my dear Vache?
Marianne?
You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
No.
I'm... Wait. Who am I? I'm very
There are a lot of
sorry.
Okeanis.
I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide.
The
Never
prophecy affects
to be
Okeanis
recovered.
too?
How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I
Oh.
since forgotten?
Humans turn into a... Humans dissolve into them, huh?
Yes, that is what I was once. But now,
Huh.
I am but the consciousness of one who is lost.
Okay, that makes
therefore.
more sense in terms of lore. Let me try to think about the world quest. Because I believe Anne the Oceanid was formed due to splitting off from Marianne the human, who was not dissolved but was merged with Princess Lyris, if I recall the world quest chain correctly. So she wasn't dissolved per the prophecy, but it's interesting to think of how Oceanids are created, because in the world quest, I think it was established that Oceanids are born because another Oceanid split off parts of their memories or personality, and that forms a new Oceanid. But here it seems to say that the dissolved human also turns into an Oceanid. I'm not sure if both are true or if one is true and the other one is not canon.
I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water.
So yeah, they are going that angle. That Oceanids... Well, these particular Oceanids are coming from dissolved maidens.
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure. Loved exploring places of peril.
Okay.
No matter where I went, Vacher would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me. And I
Interesting.
also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be.
Alright. Sure.
No. Our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories.
Tell that to the event.
The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters.
Tell that to the event.
If you
Guy
wish,
literally waits for Oceanid for
Tell
500
him
years,
not to
no,
suffer.
80 years or something.
Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember.
Okay.
Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vacher above the
Vacher
surface.
dissolved her.
His eyes were filled with such
Right?
sorrow,
That's where this is going?
such longing.
Vacher is the mastermind. He
If only
dissolved
I could
her.
have comforted him. Told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great
She's the first victim. This is the first victim.
Is that what you call it? Dissolving. If anything, I
Interesting.
consider it a form of release.
Okay. We're getting somewhere.
It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
Are they trying to sell it as an angle of, like, they go in peace? So I'm trying to think of Vacher's motives.
I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
Yeah.
Farewell,
Okay.
then. I am glad
Okay.
that you were able to
Okay,
sense
okay, okay,
my
okay.
presence.
That's some information to go off,
If
at
you
least.
see Vacher, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Will do. Huh. Oh, what the hell? Huh? What did I wake up to? What the fuck?
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardemeks. Chlorand?
Hello.
Quick, now's our chance!
Oh. Whoa. Whoa! What is this? Interesting. Didn't expect that.
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Clorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking.
Oh, you would know, Navia. You would.
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same.
You literally suggested I follow Farina and hide under her
Do
bed.
not speak of my father.
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sure. Okay.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever.
There's some backstory here then.
What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful.
Does she think
Your
he's targeting
performance tonight will
Navia?
almost certainly attract their attention.
Huh.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked.
So
it's taken me
Clorin
this long
thinks
to
they're
act against
targeting Navia.
And what about these Gardemeks? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law.
Okay.
I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clorand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
She can follow me
I do
anytime.
not think
No,
that they'll strike
no,
again
no,
anytime soon.
no.
So I shall
no.
stop following you. Good day, all.
I didn't say anything.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
No, I love the.
No, I just... She's...
I love little sparks. What do you mean?
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardemex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Navia and her gang...
I don't think they were after us, judging by that conversation.
Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Paimon could have taken them.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite.
I clearly did not take that
Wasn't
option.
really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As
Can you
such,
afford it?
We're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's
God damn it,
magnanimity.
Silver.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
Milu, no.
All
No,
right,
no.
you two.
No, no.
That's enough.
No sales pitches.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed?
God damn it.
Ooh, Paimon's even more
Don't
decent
flatter
than
her.
that.
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky.
I thought it was sugary and sticky.
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors. So
Did
how
they
could
say
it have
salty?
tasted
Did I miss
salty?
that?
The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Huh. Really?
Wow.
I sent people to Hotel de
Wow.
to investigate. But whoever did this left no trace at all.
This is
When
a
I figured
professional
out that you might
hitman
be in
job.
danger
Good lord.
And hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Lenny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
Interesting.
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial
Yeah, about that. We started
seawater?
hallucinating.
Well, it can't be coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. She said that she heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does
Yeah,
this
sensitivity to
situation have do
hydro.
with the primordial
That's the key.
seawater, then? Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
It is
Sounds
LSD.
like
I
too
was
much
right
of a
from
bad
Act
thing,
1.
To be honest.
They're just selling LSD. You hallucinate and shit.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Yeah.
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh, that is important.
Okay.
Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never
Right.
gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened?
No, I
Yes,
don't think he's a
thank you.
victim.
This is very important.
I don't believe
information
he's a
indeed.
victim.
We will continue to investigate.
Alright, partner.
You mean you'll help us investigate?
Okay, well,
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
messing with us will cost them.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you.
Excellent.
We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Given their track records, what do they even do? The base gets invaded. Silver will applaud. Melus will, Silver will applaud. Melus will cheer. Cheer us on as we fight. Right? Oh, it's underground. Okay. I should use the underground waypoint. This is too low. Okay, back up. This is too far? Oh no, it's right there. Cool. Why does she have the sword? No, that's Jay Cutter. Okay. I thought she had the holy blade for a sec.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Melus. Now, let's continue, Traveler. Surprise!
Surprise! Ah! Oh, it's actually downstairs now. Whee!
Allow me.
Over here!
Whoa. This does remind me of Meropede. In a way. I guess most underground facilities in Fontaine just look like this.
So, this is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Okay.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately.
And we just
After all,
cleaned you out
we
at
don't
dinner.
allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Seems like it's tough times
I
for
still don't know what your gang does.
You have the support of the people. That does sound like
I still don't know
something.
what the Spina does.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father. He was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No, I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they
Oh,
can
there's a
understand.
kid. Was that a Melusine or a
My
kid
father's
running in the
name is
background?
Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets.
Okay.
3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was
Interesting.
set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up.
Didn't
and
Chow
prove his
say
innocence.
very few people picked the
But
duel
strangely,
option?
He not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined
Okay.
to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
So maybe he didn't want to be found innocent. I've seen this trope before, but it usually has varieties on the motivations why. There's things like protecting your own offspring, which isn't likely in this case because I don't think Navia would be connected to it in like a strict sense. So what's the other angle they usually go with duels to the death like this, like intentionally seeking your death in the ring?
The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial
Okay, well,
disappearances
there's a
case at the
connection.
time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom
Okay.
of that case.
Interesting.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't
Well,
found
who's
a
the
single
victim?
new clue in my countless
You should at least
reviews of
know
the
that.
investigation
Who's the victim?
records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend,
Is the
I
reason
must
her
get to the
relationship with
truth.
Clorin is icy is because Clorin
If only
dueled her
he'd been more
father?
open with me when he was still
Is
alive.
that why?
He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
We are not alike. Lumi, I don't know what you're talking about. the whole mess with the Abyss is in a different universe. Probably quite literally.
Demoiselle, please.
There's nothing alike in
Anything
this.
I can do. Anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
Apparently that's not how things work in Fontaine.
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama.
Yeah, like people in the
It's not
city.
something exclusive
I
to
said this
people
last
from
act.
Fontaine, really.
Fontainians are all
Everyone's
crazy.
like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
No, people are just crazy.
How could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing.
Yeah, there we go.
Master Callus's opponent in the duel
Theory confirmed.
was Miss Clorand.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him?
Yep.
Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
Let's be real.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but
Let's be real. She could have yielded. Come on.
Worry, Navia.
Come on. Honor is not worth that
You
much.
don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Miss
Honor is
Clorand
never
told
worth
us
that
At
much.
the start of the
Be
duel,
practical.
Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety.
Yeah, so Callus did 100% intend to die.
Yes, that is our understanding as well.
oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
No, it's fine.
Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah, I want beat.
Please.
Don't yawn.
Relax
It's
and get some
contagious.
sleep.
It's
We
very
will
late at
ensure you
night
rest soundly.
right now. I'm gonna yawn too.
Whether it be responsibility for Spina di Rosula, this won't do.
Yeah, good on ya, Silver. Silver's my favorite among the two. I can't get over Act 1. I will applaud. What a lie.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back. But
What makes you
we
say
don't want
that? What?
When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
Sleep is
How
optional.
could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It
Oh,
doesn't
that's even
seem to
more
have a
fishy.
match anywhere.
That's even more
I
fishy. What the fuck?
suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vache person
But
is a
why
key
would they?
witness in the
How could they
incident.
know that?
Does that mean we're too late, though?
But that doesn't make sense. Why would they?
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible
Why
to
would they
threaten,
erase
no
a
matter how
name
much they wanted to.
from the? So I'm super sus on Vache. I think he's the mastermind. But let's take it from a different angle. If he wasn't a mastermind, he's just some girl's boyfriend. Why erase traces of his name? There's no guarantee that the Oceania formed girl would just start calling his name to like everyone in sight. Because apparently you had to be on LSD as non-Fontainian and hear that. I don't think they take that precaution, right? Taking that precaution just doesn't make sense. Unless Vacher is more connected than just some witness. Am I tripping? Am I under or overthinking this? It doesn't make sense.
And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Navia, a place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanid you met is one of the young women who
I prefer
went missing
Oceanid.
recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
Oceanid sounds so off to me. I prefer Oceanid.
Navia maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case,
He
let's
seems
get back to
agreeable.
him, shall we?
He would agree. What?
Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
Alright.
The Palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Let's go. How does Lumi know which door to go to?
The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters. Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded.
I can take a Melusine, come on.
Its files are really secure.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell. If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy. So please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
Again, I said this back in Act
What I
1.
meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician
I
Lynette.
said this back in Act 1. But when I was going through the story quests, I never... In my mind, I found the Melusines, because I haven't met one in the Archon quest yet, when I cleared the world quests. In my mind, I saw the Melusines as like more innocent, and therefore not as articulate. Like, Mamun was a very innocent Melusine. To the point where like the whole arc was Seymour. And the whole part about finding paint for her. Passive can't even speak coherent sentences. So it really struck me, it really like shocked me when I saw a Melusine that can like speak articulately. I suppose it makes sense as the members of the Marashasi hunters. But I'm just so shocked that Melusines can talk like this. I expected in my mind I pictured them as like Aranaras. But clearly they're not.
Oh yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be.
They also have good
Lynn's
memory.
attorneys.
That's the part I remember.
It's all coming back to me now.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh? Is that even a thing?
Guess not.
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Thanks so much.
Oh, I like the knocking sound. Hello, Monsieur Nivelet. It's the only appropriate way to say that name.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet.
See, even Paimon
Tried
says
to
it.
get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're
Nah.
looking for a man called Vacher. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
There's also a possibility that the Oceanus memory is tainted. Like, if Vacher doesn't exist, he just doesn't exist.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
Move my cursor off the screen.
Unfortunately,
Oh my god, not here too.
I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past
So
several
that
years.
starts to make no sense
There
now.
are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Huh.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
It can't be.
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
No, that doesn't make sense. That's not right.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
Why you gotta bring that up, man? Why do you gotta
And
bring that
what
up?
are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words.
He doesn't understand
only
human
said those
emotion. What do you
things
want from
because you
him?
felt like you should.
He's trying his best. Maybe. Maybe.
It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all?
Let it all out.
Everything
Let it all
was
out.
hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to.
Just let it all
If you
out.
really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the
That's a
true
threat.
meaning
Hold
of
on.
regret.
That's a threat now. That is now a threat.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well.
Look,
In any
justice
case,
is cold.
everyone
That's
already
how it's
knows
always
full
been.
well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
What do you want me to do, Navia? It's not easy for him either. I can understand both of them in a way. Like, neither of them are wrong.
Navia,
I
are
don't
you
think
okay?
either of them are wrong in this.
I'm fine.
They both did what felt right to them. And I can't fault them for that, right?
Rain. It's raining.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't
It's
be any
raining
active
again.
trials today. How strange.
Hydro Dragon, please don't
Now that I
cry.
think of it, On the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
Hydro Dragon, please don't cry.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that. But didn't
Why would
find
expanding the
anything
search
of value.
area help with rain? What would the rain have covered?
Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
Where is this going?
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water and then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier?
But that makes it so much more complicated.
With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
That complicates it so much more.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later? Great.
Let's go.
Let's go then.
Let's go. Where am I? Hello.
Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally have in common.
Occasionally.
A gigantic and
Just had to
glamorous
sneak
ship
that word in.
embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past.
Why would she bluff about that, Paimon?
Why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
It looks like an airship.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
Uh-huh.
Step on up! Surprise!
Hello, old man.
We're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners.
Aren't we
You
your
said
only
before that You
partners?
still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Malus? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in
Absinthe. The
At a
alcohol.
glance, it was a kind of drink that
Oh my god, it actually is alcohol. It's LSD.
pleasant hallucinations.
It's just...
Wait!
It's a drug.
The guard guy who turned into water also mentioned that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of
Yes, it's LSD.
He did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety,
Okay, that's
while
just...
lacking energy to do anything.
You
It's an
described...
extremely dangerous substance.
Okay.
As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse, and called for a complete ban of it.
Ban
Boss's
LSD.
uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to
It's
yield.
LSD.
Not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers.
Get Sino on the
Only
case.
sold the stuff and
Cracks
was
it
privy to
instantly.
the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse.
It's just drug
That
dealers.
night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food.
And then he died.
But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
So there was a third killer.
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive
There's
at
a
all.
bit more motive on
Back
this
it,
one.
though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
Yes.
Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet.
Why are we in
But,
Nouvelette's
considering it
company
now,
when we talk about
it's
this?
almost
This is
certain
critical
they belong
information.
to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
One shot killed Jacques, the other one came from her father to shoot at the killer.
You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions.
Doesn't explain
It's
why.
unlikely that he turned on
Doesn't
Boss
explain
with
why
zero
Navia's dad
warning.
died for it.
I think
Why did he
this
choose to like
third
duel to
person
death?
is probably the key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them
Ah, we'll be
justice.
fine.
Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new
Poisson.
time of peace, and we have
Poisson.
begun to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's plan. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes
No,
to step back
never.
and give up on the case.
Never.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself.
Exactly.
Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, demoiselle,
I'm
I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Malus.
What?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between
Bruh.
Synth and the seriousness of the case. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, Demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
But that was years ago.
What?
That was 3 years ago.
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left.
Okay, but that can't be the sole motivation for him
serial
to die in the ring.
disappearances case caused him great anxiety.
That can't be the only reason why he opted to
5
die in the
years
ring,
was
though.
nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details. But
Okay.
as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take
Until
Demoiselle's
now.
life.
No, I don't believe it. He
Until
never
now,
appeared
right?
to look sick to me.
Were the Gardemex targeting
No father wants their
us?
daughter to
Like
see them
her?
weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss.
So did something
Him
change?
dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still
That can't be the
preferable
motivation
to
why
losing
he
face
dies in the
front of his
ring.
daughter.
Come on. He still had more to give after that.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
He
I'm
didn't
afraid
have
you're
to.
not understanding this
Right?
correctly, Demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight?
But why did he have to die? The intimidation tactic doesn't preclude the fact that he just dies to Corinne. He could have still been at the trial. The route of him picking duel by death, duel to the death, doesn't really make sense still. Cause like just the idea of bluffing the masterminds and saying like, hey, I have evidence. Why does that mean he was forced to submit to a duel? I'm not making the connection here. It can't just be that like, oh, I'm on my way out, I'm just gonna die in the duel. That's stupid. Like I don't want to see I don't want to make my daughter see me get weaker. I'm gonna get killed by Chlorine. That's stupid. I don't buy that.
No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to
There's something
understand
more to
him.
this.
Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now? Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where Synth is produced. Essentially,
Why would you keep this information hidden?
when he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several
You could have
things
told
into
us this a long time ago.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war.
Doesn't matter. Tell us
The
anyway.
worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
We could just talk to Nivellette.
That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now.
I think
It
he
should
still
be
had
lot
a
easier
choice,
to prove the other
Navia.
side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
You sound
Why
like you
not
put a
blow it
lot
wide
of thought
open?
into this, Maloose.
It's not like
I am the
Nivellette turns a
butler,
blind eye to
after
this.
all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
Thank you for all of that, Maloose. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news.
Okay.
After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well.
Sure.
Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence.
Okay.
In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around, with a lot of business connections in the city.
Rich
You're like a
merchants.
sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support.
Okay.
It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course. And thank you, Maloose. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Aw, thank you so much, Maloose. You really are the best.
A new case awaits, my dear partner.
Alright.
I hope we can
Let's
work
go.
together to uncover the truth.
That was a lot to
End
think
this
about.
case once and for all.
There's still things like, look, all of this could have been avoided. Like, Kaz didn't have to pick that route to die. Literally just talk to Nuvalet. If you're afraid that someone in the guards gets compromised, just talk to the dragon.
And enjoy.
You could have avoided so much. Come
Thank you
on.
for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Oh, that child's eyes are pitch black. Holy shit, that's terrifying.
Hey, Navia's all quiet.
That child has terrifying eyes, my god.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rusula
But your child, ma'am, she is glaring daggers into my face.
An apology to be genuine.
Your child is freaky.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Are you sure you're happy with that
Mind sharing
answer?
it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out.
So you're
by
saying he
higher
was
ups.
They
compromised.
found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
What? Really?
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the
So
conclusion.
you're going
I
with the
eventually came
self-defense angle.
to, which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still
You
alive
think it's
and after he
self-defense?
passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible
That's not
for
true.
me to
That
hate
can't be what
him for
happened.
what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
But it's not that.
Yeah.
I don't.
Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh,
Thank you for everything you've told me.
Okay.
I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Struggle greatly with the order to kill Callus. So I guess that's like the truth I can deduce from
I'll
this,
leave
right?
my husband.
Oops.
Thank you, Miss.
Ah, kitties.
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florence should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city.
So I guess the only
I'll
usable
get myself
fact,
together on the way. So please don't
the
worry.
only usable piece of info is that Jocks received an order to kill Callus. The self-defense angle, I'm throwing that out, basically. That doesn't make sense.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
just being
I've
direct with our suspects?
Something that dramatic?
God.
I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several
We're just
weeks.
going confronting him directly
It
about
also
this?
reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside.
You're giving a lot of
We found
info to
some
the
clothes left
suspects,
at the
Navia.
scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callus was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was
That
drinking and
doesn't
bantering
sound
away
like
with us
his.
at the table.
That doesn't sound like what he
After
should
that,
be feeling.
He told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear
was
2 gunshots
happy and
ring out right
upbeat.
after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the
Does
scene.
everyone in the city have
But when I
guns?
got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought
The
that
first shot
explanation.
hit the dissolved body.
Reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to
What?
the scene.
He did?
But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
Yes.
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
True.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys?
Yes.
But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't
Because
he
he's
share
an
the truth
idiot.
with
That's
any
my
of us?
conclusion.
He didn't even
It
want to
could have
face
been
the
resolved
Oratrice machine,
without death.
and chose instead to prove his honor in a
Yes,
duel.
exactly.
Did
Why?
he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
I hope that's not the angle they go with.
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why
I
he
still
committed to the
don't,
duel.
Navia.
I'll tell you everything once the whole truth
I
has
feel
been
like
revealed.
it's. If that's
I
the angle
understand.
you're selling it as, I think it's such a flimsy
I'll leave
reason.
Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss.
If he was
And if I may
terminally
just
ill
say one more
and then
thing.
he picked a duel, it's a very
Oh,
flimsy reason.
Callus the unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many
why?
people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed.
Okay.
But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Foran, the advisor to the Spina di Rosula, claimed that he was very grateful to Callus for his kindness. He was also present at the banquet on the day and for evidence that Callus did not carry a gun with him when he went out. Are you willing to submit to a lie detector test? Go gadget lie detector. I know it doesn't work outside of Sumeru, but it would have been funny. Alright, back to the court.
Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've caught news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Whoa.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson.
Sure you
Callis
do.
did
Broken
a
boys!
fantastic job running the town. Building Spina di Rasula from the ground up and clearing many
What if all
obstructions
three
in
of
the
them
way.
are the culprits?
It would be next to impossible for
Network
me to
doesn't
find
have to be
a
just one
similarly
guy.
easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be
How do
dissolved
you
into
know
water,
all
right?
of this?
I was also flattered.
How did you make this
connection?
connection?
If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardemex?
You might not need the authority. Because those Gardemex, Chlorine said that those Gardemex don't have their correct serial numbers, like they weren't registered. So you could definitely dispatch what I'm assuming is unregistered Gardemex, right? If you just turn them into your personal army. So I don't think you need authorization.
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence.
You want to try?
Case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a
You're
horde
disclosing
of
far
unnumbered
too much
Gardemex in the
information,
city.
Navia.
So,
You don't. He
if
doesn't
you
have to know.
hypothetically wanted to do something against me,
Why would you say this? He's a
give them the
suspect.
serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling
Explain?
them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not
That
to
analogy
massage your
sucks.
shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardemex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to
Okay,
keep
so
it
if we
secret.
take that at face value,
So
then
I
there's
can
a
promise
network
you,
of
those mecha were
bad guys.
definitely private units.
which is not new information.
They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable.
We didn't say
enough to
shit about the
afford this.
synth business yet.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation.
It's him.
I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so
I have
just come find
no,
me
I
if
have
you
no
need any
evidence,
support from the
but it's him.
guards.
Thierry is the person responsible for the official contact between the Spina de Rosula and the guards. According to him, only the sufficiently rich can privately own large numbers of Gardemex. He's throwing shade onto Marcel for no reason. I don't know, maybe Marcel's sus as shit, you know? Let's see what Marcel has to say. Maybe he's also just super sus. Maybe Thierry was right. Whee!
Hello. How may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him. Sure. I will let him know right away.
Hello, Marcel.
Ah, Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be.
Ah, you look
so
plenty
my legs
young.
are giving
50s,
out a
I'm
bit.
assuming.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, haven't you? I bet you've seen plenty of people dissolve.
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive.
You weren't
To beat
there.
the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf. I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
It's already happened before.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Nobody in this city is
Uncle
normal.
Marcel,
I swear to
you've
God.
also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Did everyone make this connection except us?
Exactly. I still
We had to
don't have
wait
some solid
a
proof.
day to discover
Sense
this?
that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardemex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit.
Paimon's just a glutton.
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to
Yeah, but
justice.
then Navia will be dead.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel.
Like, you're talking about
I don't intend to go
as a
into
whole
hiding.
nation. You're talking about
going to
one of the
strike while
most
the iron's hot.
effective assassination weapons ever. Not only is it borderline instant when insufficient quality, you can disguise it as literal water. You don't even have to ingest it. You splash it on someone and they dissolve. There's not even a mess. They just become a puddle of water. This is like the most effective weapon for any assassination ever invented, and it works on anybody native to this whole nation. One, people should be freaking out way more about this, and two, if something bad happens to someone, they're gone. They're just gone. You wouldn't know. This is a terrifying thing that I feel like they
Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I
Right.
was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Okay.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push
A
yourself.
gunshot?
We'll ask around some more. See if
A
there are any
gunshot?
valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good.
One?
Just let me know if you ever need Mora.
One gunshot, right? Did I hear that right,
All my
Marcel?
wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Marcel's the leader of the Confrérie of Cabrières, and was the organizer for the banquet years prior. The Confrérie and the Spina de Rosula have always maintained a close working relationship, though his recollection of the events of the case is quite foggy. He is willing to defend Navia. Oh. Where did she snap to? Oh my god, the cutscene triggers from down here.
All three suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
One of them is sus as shit.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't.
We're
have
also
needed to
discussing
investigate the
this
case for
right
so many
above
years.
Marcel's head.
Anyway, even
He
though
can
we didn't
hear
make a
this.
breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to
Right?
find.
We should go somewhere more private.
But where should we start?
He's literally right below us.
Ah, you're right. Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance.
Okay. Because
That makes sense.
Jox was sent to
According
kill him.
Jacques'
That makes
family
sense.
members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day.
This wording is also weird because it doesn't necessarily mean that he's out to kill Callus, right? He could be the no choice doesn't correlate to I have to kill Callus.
If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my
But
father.
that's not for sure. It's a
But he
strong
refused.
theory. Likely
And
what
his
happened,
family's
but not
lives
for
would have been
sure.
forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
That's true. Why would you fire a shot at all?
Oh? And why is that?
You deal synth. These two.
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool
Okay,
for murder.
this too, but also,
And once he had
if you deal
completed his
synth,
mission, he'd be of no
you can
more
kill
use to his
someone
boss.
without a gun. Just dissolve them. That's so much cleaner.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the order and seek protection from my father.
Third person derailed everything.
Makes
Okay,
sense.
we'll run with this
But
train.
without evidence,
That
that's still
Jox
just a theory.
doesn't need to kill him.
Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardemex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Right?
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardemex?
Marcel.
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques. And with funds from the Confrérie...
Again, we're
he could
talking
also
right above
afford
him.
a large number of Gardemex. It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth business?
Okay, let's go with... I don't think it's Thierry as... Because I think Thierry is too obvious. He has the authorization to dispatch Gardemex. But I think it is true that he doesn't know how to deserialize them. So I'm gonna go with Florent.
Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the
I
best
think it's
chance
too
of lying about
obvious
his
to go with
dealings
Thierry.
Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
True.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a...
So it is the obvious one.
Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out
just
a way
go
to
with the
convert
angle that he
Gardemek for
deserialized
personal
them.
use. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering
Also
under
true.
wraps.
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory.
That too.
If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Who could it be?
It was me.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair.
But that
and
doesn't mean
well-considered.
those three are the
When
only
he laid out his
ones.
case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm
The thing
starting
that
to
still
see
makes
how
me
things
sus
could
on
all tie
Marcel
back to
is the
Uncle
one
Marcel.
gunshot thing. He didn't describe 2 gunshots. Maybe I'm too hung up on that.
Well, we still have another
But I can't stop thinking about that one.
Speculating.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right
That
now.
doesn't mean we charge straight in there, Navia.
We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Thank you.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Oh?
Huh? Aren't you
What's
the guy
wrong?
from the guards? Did something happen?
What happened?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Oh?
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatua
What?
harbinger called Tartaglia.
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too
Child is
well.
on trial?
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
By who?
It's absurd, don't you think?
By who?
How? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right. Because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah. And it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found
Who
any
accused him?
conclusive evidence.
I need to know now.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Just as expected of
Guess
my
we're
partner.
infiltrating.
Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving his home base
And then this
wide
guy
open.
has heard it all.
You're right.
This
is
guy
our best
has
opportunity.
heard it all. We're
Alright then,
discussing plans
let's do this.
in front of
I'll
a
tell them at the
suspect.
Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that
He's
charge
still a
stick, though,
suspect,
unless
Navia.
we find more
We didn't
evidence.
clear anyone yet.
It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Linny's trial.
Okay.
Mademoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malus, Silver. When did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Irenaeus. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
See you then!
Are we actually putting that in evidence? It's Marcel? Something about that feels off
Navia
still.
has set out for Irenaeus. We should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance.
This place? Okay.
Finally found it! Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all. Ah, you're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of protective measures.
And then it's just
mechanisms.
completely unguarded.
Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
Meanwhile? Oh my god, we're getting the meanwhile? Okay.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right? In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that
You
champion
freaking
Clorette,
idiot.
right?
What are you doing?
I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
Yeah. You
Oh,
tell him.
Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
Ooh.
No.
Freena's much better unit than Child. You can take him.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant...
Cravaletta Solo's Child. Come on, let's be
We have
real.
made very little progress.
You don't even
In
need the
that
whole
case,
kit.
Let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man.
Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
Hey, it worked last time.
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with
Fine,
contempt of
charge me.
court for your
See if I care.
interjections.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointlessly...
I'll duel too.
We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
Is that how this court works?
That person is... Something's not right.
What? Oh. Oh, whoops. I just clicked the first option, but I didn't realize they could all be clicked.
Of Cabriere.
Huh? What confrery? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing
Okay,
to
so
the
why
charge
isn't
also
Farina?
means taking on the legal
Farina just literally charged Liddy for fun.
And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a
What about Farina?
Knowing
What is this Archon privilege?
Do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and
I don't
only
have a
ran to the
solid
scene
case for
when
this.
We heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières.
Right.
During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarand in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries.
Okay.
These are the known facts about the case.
Let's go with 2, 3, and 4 to start refuting.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger.
Sure.
In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene.
Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea.
Was this intent to kill? Yes. But motive to kill clashes with carrying a gun. Is there another one that's like... No, okay. There's a more... Okay, this won't
Testimony
work.
of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thought. However, in the end, he reconsidered. And unfortunately for Jacques, the true...
What? Isn't this the right one? Blah 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 blah.
This assassin first shot Jacques.
Yes, that's the correct one. I keep trying to use that one, but it's this one, yeah.
A pile of clothing was found at the scene, but now it is clear that the clothes were proof. Since it was raining that day, Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
Right.
what happened.
Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not.
Well, that stalling didn't work for too long, did it?
If you don't have any evidence...
Hey, shut the hell up! I'm trying my best here!
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
No, that's not it.
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last...
That's also not it. It's Farina we're talking about.
Second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If
That's the question I want to answer.
Described, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave.
Okay, but like he didn't have to.
Spina di Rosula was
Still.
in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice.
Talk to Neuvillette. All he had to do. That's all I'm saying. He didn't have to take this route. I still don't really buy that angle. They're trying to sell it really hard. You could have just talked to Neuvillette.
What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course,
Okay, fine.
the
You know
guards
what?
might eventually
I'm gonna
figure
drop
out
the
the
point.
truth of the
Doesn't
matter
matter.
and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retain the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate.
That's
I
not
was able
how
to
you...
become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives.
How
In
edgy
my line
of you.
Work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
We're trying!
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
Okay.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor?
You're saying someone can remotely dissolve someone? That's even scarier than the alternative.
I don't know what you can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations, until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's
You were a
patronage.
Snezhnayan?
But the disappearance
That's the most sus that you said so far.
I do apologize, demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure he had come prepared.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the serial disappearances? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Huh.
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
Hold on. There's something wrong here.
This isn't just about me, and it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice.
Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher?
Oh my god. She's going there?
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard
She
of.
just brings up Vacher out of nowhere.
Say that.
A little while earlier? Oh. Alright, let's go out. Okay, Farina got a concussion by dolphin diving onto the floor. Uh-oh. Party setup. Oh, I can't configure. Oh, okay, whatever. I got this! Go, go, level 1 of that! I am doing no fucking damage. Whee!
Surprise!
Hey, I'm doing a little bit of damage. Oh. Fake lag. Pneuma form. Heal. Usa form will be too dangerous because Traveletta solos these guys, so...
Over here! Cue the spotlight!
Yeah! Look at that! Look at that damage! Dude, in 10 more years I can kill them all.
Surprise!
Okay, sorry now. You're gonna have to wait for this, Navia. Also, they're not attacking back. I don't know why. They're not attacking back. Can you just tank this? Yeah, I guess you can. I'm afraid if I do like one Chihaya Brew from Kazuha, it might kill everything. You know what? I need to get some wind particles. I'm gonna just do that. There we go. Oh, it's charges Electro. The cast charges Electro. Oh my god, this set sucks. Why did I think a level 1 Lynette could have high attack? What was wrong with me? I mean, how much damage does Farina does? It's also not a lot.
Over here!
Okay, one hit at a time. We will whittle them down.
Let the magic begin!
Charge it! Charge the cat with Electro! Come on! Electro the cat! Spit on me!
Surprise!
Nice. Honestly, 3.4k from one press of the skill is pretty good.
The show begin. Over here.
Oh my god. Just a reminder, I ran through 4.0 areas with this. It was not fun.
Whoa! The floor is going up!
You did it, Lynette. Good work.
In the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
Can you imagine we get to the end, we find a file on Vacher, and then we're like, ah shit, we got the wrong guy. And then we just hurry back, like, Navia, we got the wrong guy.
Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism.
Oh, that's a
that'll show us the
long
way out.
drop. Eh, it doesn't have to be a long drop. Oh, it's underwater. What does that do? Raise the water? Oh, it just flushes it? Did I flush or raise it? I raised the water level. Okay.
The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top.
Alright, up we go.
But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Oh no, another fight. Alright, I need to speed this up a bit or I'm gonna be here forever. Charger cat. I am allowing Chihaya boost.
The wind knows me.
Oh god! Oh god! Oh my god, I think... Oh god! Alright, get back here, Lynette. Get back in there! Get back in the ring! Ah, kill it! Yeah, you got this. Ow. That's so mean. That does so much damage, you have no idea. There's another wave! Oh no! I'm gonna be here forever! Okay, Rena, can I get Cavaletta to just hit the cat once? Thank you. Oh, that swirl was massive to just throw the Electro. Wait, it swirl the Electro. Oh no, I don't have the cat. Ah, no. This is going awfully. Come on, you got this. Yeah. Good work, Lynette. Couldn't have done it without you. And we're in. We made it to the top. I'm surprised this facility is like abandoned. There's no humans here, it's just Gardemeks. You think this place will have more than just Gardemeks? There should be people here, right?
Over here.
Whoa. What's this? Pneuma blocks. Then that breaks this. Oh wait, these are Rusa blocks. Poke it. And poke it.
May I present?
Alright, this is your greatest challenge to date.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night, one with nature.
Let the magic begin! Over here!
Oh, I didn't catch a particle in time. Damn. Yeah, swirl that pyro. Mostly Kazuha Sash doing all the work, but I guess the cat's there too. Oh my god!
Did it?
That's 8,000! Oh, that's actually just barely enough to one-shot Lynette.
Over here.
Can you catch your...
The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds call into the wind.
Get all these particles. Heal me! Heal me! Heal me, stream! Stream singer, heal me, please!
Cue the spotlight!
Heal me faster!
Time to shine!
Wait, that does damage. Oh shit, I forgot that does damage. Whatever, it's not doing a lot. Kinda is. I don't know how much it's doing. Oh my god! Oh my god! They brought backup!
Let the magic begin! Over here!
Ooh. Okay, she's alive, she's alive. I emergency swapped her off, but she's alive.
The show begins!
Heal me! Please!
Surprise!
Oh god! I'm too young to die! Dude, I am not getting the particles for Farina. She is not getting that burst back anytime soon. If only I had a Bennett. Well, I have a Bennett. If only I put Bennett in this team.
After all that, we finally made it to the innermost sanctum.
Oh, what's this?
Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here. That's right. Then let's
Are we really saying he's a mastermind or just like a guy? Are there things here I can read to get more insight?
Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Paimon's
Put the glasses back on.
Callus. Navia's father.
Oh.
This
Juicy.
seems to be an
Juicy.
investigation
We got
report
something
here.
juicy.
Yep. It's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus because of a lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through with it.
Okay.
This should prove the existence of the third person, right?
Right.
We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organization.
So the bluff worked.
The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper hand. He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the
That
picture
tracks.
entirely.
So that tracks with everything we know.
Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't touch Navia.
I concur. This is a
Seems like we've got a
conversation.
bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups.
I see.
They're all just so evil.
There's one piece of evidence. Anything else? This is the pool Primordial Sea.
Look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water.
I've been to the Primordial Sea. I did the story quest for 4.2. I've been in there. I fought the big bad in there already. He's already gone. I dealt with him.
Means this is where they make all the synth, and that special water is the main ingredient. If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth, but the pure stuff can dissolve a human.
True.
Paimon will take notes on this incriminating evidence.
Excellent. Primordial seawater pool.
Whoa! There's so much synth here.
So
And
much
many
LSD.
bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the Primordial Sea. Mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Stock sample? Huh. They've also got all the synth pretty clearly labeled.
Interesting.
Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth?
Fanta!
Yep, it's super obvious.
We found Fanta! Okay, pausing recording for 2 minutes. We're back.
What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place for research.
Yes.
Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea.
Jacob!
And use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough.
Jacob! They're tying in the Narcissan Christ Ordo. Oh my god. Wow. That... I don't know how to feel about that. I'm very conflicted on this.
The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23...
So what happened to the first 21? That's okay.
Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that...
That's not true. That's not true. You've seen scarier stuff than this.
Someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone. You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going.
The goal of the researcher. I knew it!
So that's why he did all of these experiments. Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane!
Vache.
Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
He's the researcher. What I've been telling you since minute one.
Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments?
Vigneator. Yeah.
So that's it! Vache was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water? In any case...
So he's not the mastermind. He's trying to save her? What else have I seen? What's this?
What's all this? Aw, it's a bunch of really cute things!
Unexpected?
Accessories, a hair tie, a necklace...
Oh, the belongings. They're the belongings of the female victims.
Oh, Paimon sees it too, but... Why are all these cute things labeled with different girls' names? Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? They were brought here?
Yes.
And then they were turned into water. And all the boxes of things. These names. That means... Oh, this is terrible. We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories were spot on.
Who is Vache?
Yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything to do with that name a long time ago. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit.
Right.
Sure thing. Paimon won't admit defeat to this guy either.
Clues related to Vache. Vache didn't care how many victims he had to dissolve in his quest to bring his lover back to life. There's nothing here on Vache's true identity. The music changed. The music changed.
You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Check everything carefully. We'll find something for sure.
Right?
Ugh. Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even...
You were looking for snacks?
find anything. What? 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 lover's name?
Aha.
Then you found her diary. Let's see. Aw, it's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet too. Oh,
She made a list of
feels even
baby
worse
names?
for her. So many! A whole page's worth! But they're all crossed out. Was she unhappy with all of them? The final name she decided on was... Marcel.
Ah.
Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's
Nope,
Vacher and
he is
Vinier's
Vacher.
grown son? Hey! Paimon still hasn't figured it out yet.
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher?
Aha.
Oh.
Gotcha.
So you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
That's not the entrance I thought you say, Paimon. You could have made it so much more epic.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
You say you never heard of Vacher, but here's their notebook.
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vacher.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything. After your lover, Vinier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you. You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vacher.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely
I think
go
they
that
usually go a bit further than
And
that.
with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr.
He too
Marcel,
is determined.
Please speak up now if you would
Just
like
in
to
the wrong
defend
way.
yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this?
Kinda.
Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me?
Yeah,
Ever
how did
helped
that
out
happen?
My pain.
How did the first
Now it feels
dissolution
to watch
happen?
the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes.
How?
No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vinier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Vinier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will follow.
I mean...
But I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be dissolved. No matter what I do.
You could drown.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
Oh my god, he's got the
Can't
LSD.
dissolve! Can't dissolve!
soul! Do you all see? I can't go, I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better
You
of
killed
me.
people, bro!
I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
Hey, you take that back, sir.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
He's got LSD!
Don't anybody come near me. I still need to.
He's got the LSD! You're gonna get dissolved!
Promise. We made a promise. Vignier. Please, Vignier. Don't think badly of
Oh,
me.
that ship has sailed.
All I want to do is fulfill our promise.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case.
Okay.
The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignier. During an underwater expedition, Vignier accidentally came
that's
into
how it
contact
happened?
with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignier back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson.
Right.
During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet.
Correct.
Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Lynette as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Lynette failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court.
Correct.
Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all.
Bravo! Bravo!
The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vacher.
Guilty.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
This audience sucks, by the way. I hate all of them.
He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves. Huh? Are you okay?
Is she crying again?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing justice has been served.
Yeah. Yeah. It's finally over. It's all thanks to you guys. And my partner.
You're welcome.
See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the
We're
helm.
still broke. We gotta
Wow,
fix
hasn't
that.
this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to. So, if you'll excuse me...
Bye.
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
Ugh, what now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me
I
to
don't
exit
see the
stage
problem.
left?
Just declare him not guilty.
Please respect the law.
Hardly a hassle.
This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand there,
Barely.
right?
You're just
Let's
not
get
guilty,
this over
right?
with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Tartaglia is guilty.
What?
What?
Hey!
Huh?
That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
What?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger?
No.
Do you think the
Wait.
Oratrice might have just convicted
Skirk.
him on general principle?
There's something about the Primordial Sea, the narwhal. Child was exposed to it, right? Is there something about that? Is that the reason?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
Is he the reason the Primordial Sea dissolves people? Somehow?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court.
Is it because
We
of
must
him
accept
that the
the
sea
guilty
kills
verdict.
people?
Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
Whoa.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
Yeah, get him, child.
He's activating his spell legacy!
That's cheating! That's cheating! Nuvolite just domes him before he transforms?
If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Just halfway through transformation, Nuvolite domes him. That's so funny.
Hey, Monsieur Novelette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment
Sure,
is the final
we'll go
verdict
with
of the
that.
court. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Who? You're Nuvolite?
looking at me. I had nothing to do with it.
Sure.
I don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop staring at me!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
What?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
Uh-oh.
My dearest citizens, did you really
All right,
think we'd
put on the
allow
theater
an
kid.
incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken
Okay.
or be the result of some sort of random mishap?
Yes.
Don't tell me. You thought even I had been blindsided
You literally
by the
were.
Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shot,
Corinne's looking at her being like, bruh.
part of an elaborate performance, with every action meant to stir up drama and excitement.
Drama.
And, of course, for every performance there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an arbitrary judgment.
I do think the Oratrice is
Child
right.
had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case. It is only
I do
because
think the
you've been
Oratrice is
blinded
right.
by the
It has something to
superficial
do with
appearance of
Skirk.
innocence.
For sure.
Everything he's done,
I don't know the truth
not
yet,
to mention
but
the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension.
he didn't do shit yet, Farina. Come on.
All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the Oratrice's verdict. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense,
She just leaves?
for this performance to end. As the
Toodaloo.
lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave. Toodaloo!
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
It was theatrical though. I'll give her that.
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea.
Yep.
However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
Alright. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now. After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff. So he should.
That's not how this works. That's not how this works, Paimon. Come on. What do you got to say?
Monsieur Neuvillette, that power you showed when you took him down. Who are you really?
I'm the Chief Justice of Fontaine, of course. If officers of the law lack the strength and capability to enforce it, then it makes a mockery of justice.
Right. You're only like the most overpowered character in the game right now. No biggie.
Surprise!
I wonder what the people think. Do they still buy Farina? Hold on. Can I talk to any of them? Probably not. Doesn't seem like it.
Step on up!
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Uh-oh.
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list!
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vacher?
In the Fountain of Lucine.
I erased all records of that name. So, unless...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it? The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life.
You're gonna have to take some LSD.
Afterwards. I don't care.
That's the condition.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
I agree.
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs?
Shouldn't you already know the answer by now, Nivellette?
Very well. I will grant your request.
Shouldn't you know that answer by now? You've seen Callus.
I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief Justice.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Alright, let's go, buddy. Let's go.
Is this the place? You said she's here.
Take LSD. Let's do it.
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well?
Oh, he's high as shit.
Vacher.
Ah!
Yes, that's it. So you heard it too.
Hold on. How did you hear that?
It's me, Vacher.
How did Paimon just hear that? She didn't take LSD.
Vacher. Vacher.
I'm here. Where are you, Vignier? I'm coming for you. I'm finally here for you.
Hey, wait! Be careful! Hey, wait!
Vignier, is that you? It's me, Vacher. Vignier.
Vacher. Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember. How long has it been?
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me
I was under
alive.
the impression that
Nothing else mattered to me.
the Sins manufacturing was a huge
I must be
cabal.
dreaming.
Not just like one guy. Like, who are the other higher ups?
Vignier, you are my everything.
How am I supposed to like?
No, how I could live.
It's not over here, right? There's still a ton of other higher ups, a huge network.
If you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
True.
What are you saying?
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a
Oh my
top
gosh, she's
attorney
going
one
there.
day.
She went there.
If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia itself.
Oh, it's the other
If
victims.
not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother.
It's the other victims.
And she
All
would
of
have
all of their memories
died
are merged
alone,
into the Oceanid.
with nothing but the tears on her
I
cheeks.
see.
It's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because...
This ocean is all of their consciousness.
You... Wait, you are not Vinier. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vinier. I am... the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals.
That's also literally not how Oceanians are born, as established by the World
Streams of
Quest.
water come together in the sea. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vinier.
Why? But then, where is Vinier?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you.
I mean, that's fair. He's a
This is what you
dick.
get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became?
LSD is bad, kids.
You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vinier's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vinier's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
Ooh, got him.
No! Vinier! She can't hate me. Let me see her, please. Have mercy.
Got him.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vinier. She really doesn't want to see you anymore. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Vache.
Vache?
Oh.
Vache. Vache.
Oh, get him, boys. Well, not boys.
Drown.
Oh, he's gone. He died of a massive fright. He died of a massive fright. Serves him right. Oh, it's raining again.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Dude, I hate shopping.
Well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen when I woke up in such a good mood today.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days. Paimon's already started to miss you.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon.
Aren't you guys still broke?
Treasure having a partner like me.
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days, Navia. What have you been busy with since the trial?
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between Poisson and the court since then. Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held one back then, no one was going to come. This time, though, everyone in Poisson, and even many people from the court, all attended.
So his name's definitely been cleared now.
Excellent.
That's what we like
I also thought it ends well.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle all along.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. I'm so glad I didn't give up on the case all those years ago. Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial service.
Oh, she's got her scoop, I guess.
Maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there, and there was no way she'd just let me go.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too? The Charlotte?
I guess she got her scoop, right? She got the scoop of a lifetime.
When I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, she was all over me. Wouldn't take no for an answer. I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness.
Oh god, that's
Secret
so
Tales of
edgy.
the Yellow
Oh, what
Rose.
kind of a headline is that,
Fair,
Charlotte?
though. It was a
That's
really
clickbait,
flattering
man.
feature. So, we've been on pretty good terms ever since.
That's straight up
She was trying
clickbait.
to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances case.
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super interested in that case, so now her wish has finally come true too.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you both sound really
Oh, hell yeah.
Now that's another thing to look forward to. We trust Charlotte's skills with a pen for sure.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarand out for a meal.
Oh, nice. They're making up.
On better terms now?
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clarand gave testimony on my father's behalf. It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's also no point in being awkward all the time.
There's no reconciliation. You guys didn't know each other before this, so you started off on bad terms. It's not like good to bad to good. It's just bad. It's just bad to good.
Good to have more friends.
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the public consciousness.
Maybe.
Actually, there's still one last thing I need to do.
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave and tell him the truth of what happened, as well as how it all ended. And on
Sure.
top of that, just how much people still look up to him to this day. That includes me, too.
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
Let's all go.
We want to go too. We also think Callus is a really admirable person.
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After all, without you, there might not have been such a positive ending.
And in that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering the recent weather, we'll be lucky if we can reach Poisson before dark.
Poisson.
Yeah, you're right.
The way they say this name.
Non-stop for a few days now.
Oh. The way they all say this name. Poisson.
This is where my father's grave is. To be perfectly honest, even I haven't been back here for a long time.
Huh? There's someone there already. Wait.
It was Corinne?
It can't be.
Corinne?
Isn't that Nervalette?
Ah,
Why would the Chief Justice be here?
it's the guy,
Huh?
not the girl.
Navia?
But it makes sense for him to be here too.
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown, but still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologize to me over and over.
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
You
Very
really could
frank
use
of
some
you.
pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Nervalette. In any case, why did you come to Poisson?
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head.
Dude, child's still in jail, man.
Anyway,
What do you mean, what is
I
justice?
didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature, or consider certain things to be more important than their own lives.
Most people
Which is also
still
why I didn't stop
do
your
that,
father
though.
from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival.
That's still
But Mr.
kind of
Callis
true.
proved me utterly and decisively wrong. If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day.
I
Mr.
don't know
Callis
about
made
that.
the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all for the sake of justice.
I get the message that there are some things more precious than life itself, which is a very touching thing. I'm glad that's the conclusion that they arrived at, but also, human instinct is to survive. There's no disputing that. I don't think that part is wrong necessarily.
A justice that's higher than life itself. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callis in person. I should have noticed all of this much sooner. This regret has
Okay, maybe
filled
talking to
me with
Nouvellette
sadness
wouldn't have been the right way.
that has haunted me for
He
days.
just doesn't get it
That
until
high
now.
and mighty chair in the opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
I'm sorry for being mad at you before.
It was justified. You don't have to
So,
apologize.
You're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh?
I don't
Reminds me
think
of Silver.
yelling at him
One of
back
my
there was
guys.
wrong. I'm just putting it out
Sorry
there.
about that.
I don't think there was a wrong
Self-expression
party
is
there
not
in
one
that
of my
exchange.
strong suits.
Didn't I just say you don't need to apologize?
Ah, so Navia and Nouvellette seem to have made their peace as well.
Hey, Oswald and
Let's
Enzo.
not disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're done.
Oswald and Enzo. Oh my god, it went from night to midday. How long have we been here?
Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Did Paimon do anything rude there?
I don't think Paimon can. I don't know. Has Paimon ever been grounded in all of Genshin? She was on the floor at the end of Sumeru's Archon quest when Dottore put her to sleep. She was on the floor there, but I don't think outside that instance Paimon has like not been floating. Right? She's never like stood on two legs. It's funny because she was sleeping on the floor when Dottore put her to sleep, but in the chasm, she fell asleep while standing, or fell asleep while flying. Rather, has Paimon ever like stood on the ground? Don't think so.
Paimon didn't know that was a thing. But Paimon doesn't know what she would do if she can't fly.
Do you not walk ever?
Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too mad. Anyway, Nouvellette is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this, so why don't we go talk to him for a bit? If we can't talk to Lady Farina, we can.
Oh, believe me, for now, Nouvellette is probably a better guy to talk to anyway. You think he can get anything out of Farina right now?
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respects to her father?
Mm-hmm. We ran into Navia on the streets today, so we just followed her here.
I see.
Did you not notice us? We came with
Then
her.
Is there something that I can help you with?
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like this since you're usually super busy. So we figured we could try to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to return the favor.
Okay, cool. Water.
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that special water as water from the primordial sea.
It's where Narcissenkreuz dwells.
What is it really?
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after extensive research. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea we know today.
Okay.
Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could say it nurtured much of the life on this planet.
Huh. So it really was where everything began. It makes sense to call it primordial then.
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. I
went there.
Some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly ancient age.
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Neuvillette. But if that's the case, then why would people, at least people from Fontaine, dissolve in that kind of water?
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly reverse itself and devour life instead? To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. There must still be some unknown secrets around the people of this land. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
That's for later, I guess.
That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins
he just knows the whole
will
thing.
be finally washed away for good. Does that appropriately summarize the version you've heard?
Yes.
That's right! It was Linny that told us back then. And that about covers all the main points.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this prophecy directly. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before she passed away.
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon?
Isn't the former Hydro Archon an oasis now in Sumeru?
Two parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be
Isn't the former Archon like buried in Sumeru?
And stay on the watch for
her body became the oasis in there?
Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has been collecting information and intelligence from across Tevat for this purpose. If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina by her predecessor.
But with Farina being the way she is,
she's got this.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask
He
me?
just doesn't answer the question. That's so funny. And he just like ignores that part.
My apologies. My investigation has still not reached its conclusion.
He's in jail.
However, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not rendered arbitrarily.
Again, it's probably right.
But you also said you thought he was innocent.
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on each case. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is integrated into it. Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits, such as self-awareness. Which is all to say, I've been prepared for a situation like this for a long time.
So when Linny told us that he heard a human voice from the room where the Oratrice's core is stored...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove my conjecture.
He doesn't know?
I will add that to the list of items to investigate.
Huh.
In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology all its own. We just do not have enough information.
That's the route we're going
Based
then.
on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through it, though, with her time-tested twin tricks.
I don't know if her people bought it.
Drama.
I couldn't talk to them to verify.
We do intend to get to the bottom of this. For now, we regret to say that the Fatui Harbinger will just have to bide his time in the fortress of Meripede. If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him to the fullest extent allowed by the law.
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
That's true.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
Sibling. Let's go.
Your sibling? Another blonde-haired traveler. I'm sorry, but I've never seen anyone
Aren't you a dragon?
that description.
You should.
If he ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure he followed our laws to the letter, and had no reason to appear on the
No
stage
way.
of the Opera Epicles.
No way.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
No way.
Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. I very much enjoyed conversing with you. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind and return to Palais Memoria.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your respects today because you had the day off.
Crime and
What the
villainy
hell's a
have
day
a
off?
And so justice must work around the clock as well. This is merely the nature of a justice's work.
All right, you've got a point. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped.
The Hydro Dragon has stopped crying. Oh, what a beautiful quest.
You know, we've been walking around for a while now. Why don't we go back to the Spina di Rosula base in the court of Fontaine and have a rest? Navia said something about having a place ready for us there.
Okay, I think that's Act 3.
Come on, let's go!
We'll do that the next time. It is far too late in my place. Gotta edit this VOD and put it up now.